school, I was a latchkey kid. I would hit the switch and there was no lights. In those moments, I didn't get upset, I didn't get offended, I didn't get mad because that was our reality. And I knew my superhero, which was my mom, was going to make a way. And so what it put inside of me was I didn't want greatness. I didn't want to pursue anything, the potential that I had inside of me. All I wanted was not to struggle. To be in a place where when the bills was due, I could pay those bills. But how horrible it is to be just all right and just survive when you have full potential inside of you. And so when I started shifting it, if it had not been for a few ordinary people, a few people in the neighborhood, a few people that really didn't know me, that took an interest in me, I would not be the person standing in front of you. So my mind goes back to Mr. Winfrey, who just passed away, who lived right across the street from us. He was a city councilman in Nashville, Tennessee. And he knew that my mother was a single-parent mother. So he said, every once in a while, let me take you to breakfast. Let me invest in you. The numbers man down the street said, when I went to go get my 15-cent bag of chips, y'all remember when chips was 15 cents? I'm going way back now. Said, you know what? I know your parents struggle, so I'm going to buy you a bike. Had it not been for a teacher in middle school who said, you know what, I see something inside of you. I want you to be on the forensics team. I was like, forensics team? What? And it was like, I want you to learn these poems and compete against other schools. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you don't know the impact that your ordinary things, that little thing that you do, hey, good morning, come on this bus, I want you to have a good day, impacts the students. You think you're just doing the job, but your job is a calling and it carries a weight of impact. Because you don't know, how many of you seen the movie Precious? Precious had a horrible mother at home telling you, don't go to school, go down to the welfare office, you'll never be anything. We don't know what the students experience when they leave our buildings, when they get off our buses. But we just have to tap into our calling because we have to have something to combat all of the negativity that they face. So I need you to awaken something up inside of you. I need you to challenge your belief system about who you are and the impact that you make. Because when you show up, you bring something. That special sauce, that good thing, that little bitty thing. You are ordinary people that carry an extraordinary weight. Yes. And so, because of these ordinary people, I am extraordinary today because I carry a piece of all of the investments of everyone that took time out. Every human has 3 and 8 desires. One is to be heard, to be seen, and to be felt. So when students walk into your bus and they show out, they're not showing out just to show out. What they're saying is, can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? And in many cases, they don't get it at home. So the only place that they can get it is in school. On your bus. And the attention that they get from acting a fool on your bus and the laughs and all the excitement that they get, they never felt that before because that's just a little boy on the side or another child in the parents' home. So when they act out, it's because they want somebody to see them, to feel them, and to hear them. Now that you know this, what can you do every day to ensure that every child that comes across your platform in a little bit way, how can you let them know, I can see you, I can feel you? Can you hear me, dog? Can you hear me? And so that may be just, what's up, man? Welcome. I'm glad you're on the bus today. They're like, what? You said, where were you yesterday? You done missed 10 days of school. And then you'll show up again. I'm glad you're here though. Now get in there and don't show out on my bus. So all these little pieces, extraordinary people, you carry an extraordinary way. Now, the next thing I want to drive home is that, well, let me go back to that. So how do you increase the vibration around who you are and how you show up? One thing that you can do is start speaking over yourself. Because how many of you say, you got some haters? How many of you feel like you got some haters?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Well, I want to know who told you you got haters.
Yes, yes.
Because a lot of times you don't hear them. You don't hear people talking about you. You don't hear people trying to tear you down.
Don't care.
So your biggest hater is yourself. We all carry a weight of negative self-talk. You don't have this. You're not good enough. They think this about you. They feel this way about you. So in order to kill all the negativity, you have to increase the vibration around the positivity. That's why I speak affirmations over myself. I am a transformer. I'm transforming my mind. I'm transforming my body. I'm transforming my soul and spirit. The person that I am today is not the person that I will be tomorrow, next week, or next year. The work that I'm investing in myself, it's hard, it's challenging, it's stretching, but it is rewarding. I am worthy of the person, the place, and the position that my Creator designed for me from the day my mother and father conceived me. Therefore, I make the commitment to myself to be better, do better, and get better. If you agree to that, say yes, yes. So every day, I wake up and I speak over myself. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're great. You're awesome. Mark, you got this. Every day when I get up out of the bed, I look in the mirror. How do you want to show up in the world? Because so many times I was so concerned about what other people thought about me, how I look, how I dress, how I show up. So when I choose, then I don't care what nobody else says about me. I chose to look like this. Yes, So when you wake up in the morning, you got to choose how great you are. You got to push out all the negativity, all the negative self-talk and say, you know what, I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. My hair out of place, but it's okay. With my crooked too. I still look good.
That's it.
And because when you show up like that, when you start believing about yourself, it shows up in everything that you do. When you walk in the room, you start shifting atmospheres. When you show up, you start shifting the energy around you because you feel good about yourself.
That's it.
So get you some words to speak over you every day. Tell yourself just how wonderful you are. Because when you believe it, then you can give it to the kids that run across your class every day. When I was a classroom teacher, the first assignment that I gave to my students every year was the success creed. It says, I am success. Success is me. I will not allow anything nor anyone to stop me from reaching my destiny. I am success. The reason why I wanted them to teach them that, because when they showed out in my classroom, I told them successful people don't act that way. So you have to increase what you believe about yourself so that you can show up and operate on a higher vibration. Can we agree to do that? Yes, yes?
Yes.
Okay, the next point I want to drive home is you're not just. I don't know who told you that. You're not just a bus driver. You're not just an operator. You're not just a part of the transportation department. You're not just. Because the work that you do is so great. Now, I know people will make you feel that way.
Amen.
When they're passing out bonuses, you're the last person on the list. You don't have to say anything, I know. when they're considering everything that's going on, you never hear them talking about, well, what about the bus driver? When all the considerations are about what's happening in school, we have to be 6 feet apart, we have to have this. You hear very few people talking about, well, what happens when they on the bus? And it gives the impression, except your leaders that's on here, your leaders are talking about you. I'm talking about people outside of doing the work that you're doing. And it leaves you with the impression that you're just, or that you're a low on the totem pole, that you're not considered. But I want you to know that you're not just anything. You're awesome, and you play an intricate part of the operation here in Leon County. Let me tell you a story about this teacher. I told you I get to support teachers across the country. And in one of my projects, it was in Greenville. And I know that this year I heard that you're working with exceptional students and that you're going to have those on your bus routes and so forth. As I was coming in today, I heard that. And this one teacher, she was kind of like an outcast. She was out. She was different. Anyone ever felt like you were that person before? Everyone, even her colleagues. And she had anxiety even about people being around her and being up close to her and talking to her and everything like that. But what she had was this undeniable care for her students. She taught special ed. And there was this young man that came into her classroom. He was in the 9th grade and he was reading on the 2nd grade reading level. And most of us, like, who sent you? How did you get here? How did you get all the way to high school and is reading on that level? Now, nothing that she tried to do to support him was working. But because she cared so much, she would not let that student go. And she kept trying different things. And she kept trying different things. And at the end of the year, she came to me, she said, Mr. Morton, I want to nominate this student for a national award because he's reading on grade level. What happened was she refused to give up. Even in her awkwardness, everyone considered her, she's just, you talking about that teacher? I'm like, she's always nice to me. I don't like to deal with her. She even said, I don't like to be around other people. If you got too close, it was something just, I'm sorry, I don't mean any harm. But what she did care about was her students that walked into her classroom. Now, I'm telling this story because there's more to it. This student won a national award and we celebrated him. And we were in an auditorium like this. His parents was on the front row. They were just overly excited about his accomplishments and everything that was happening to them. But I heard the story. Initially, tears started beginning to run down the parents' eyes. And she came and she told the story very personal to us afterwards. She said, when my child was in middle school, she was an educator as well. I got divorced from my husband. And while she didn't tell me the depthness of the story, she alluded to this child had been abused. And something happened within him where he shut down. No teacher could reach him. As all the efforts that she tried to make to reach him was little to none. Can you imagine having a child going through the most horrible thing in their life? And you want the best for your child. And everything that you try to give them, nothing works. But because of one teacher that refused to accept his failure as the end all to his story, that said, regardless of how many times you said, I can't, regardless of how many times you said, I don't like, regardless of how many times you show out in my class, I'm going to keep trying because there's something inside of you that deserves a chance. And I don't care how bad a child's life is, every parent wants them to experience something greater than they experienced. Yes, yes? We take for granted the fact that every day you drive that bus, you stop at a stop sign, and you pick up kids, and that parent don't know you from Adam, will send their child on your bus to a place full of people that they don't know with the hopes that they're going to get something better than I can give them. So when you take on this job, you're not just a bus driver. You're not just an operator. You hold the key to a child's success. And some parent is risking it all, leaving everything on the table and saying, I trust you enough that when I put my child on this bus, they're going to come back every day.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're not just a driver. You're not just an operator. You're not just part of the bus department, transportation department. You carry greatness inside of you with every move you make, every step you take, every wheel you turn. You hold greatness. Now, think about this. Every great invention that has ever been made, every great building, this is a beautiful auditorium. We see this beauty, but it's made up of pieces, screws that no one ever sees. No one can touch. And no one will ever marvel about how great that screw is. No one ever marvels, oh, that's a wonderful brick. They said, this is a beautiful auditorium. So you have to understand that even if you are just the screw in the whole scheme of this whole transportation department called the school system, that if that screw wasn't there, it would be nothing. If you think about the spaceship that goes into outer space, if it was not for all the screws and all the small parts, that spaceship would be nothing. So when you walk onto that camp this summer and you get in your bus, don't you know that Leon County Schools will not be able to operate in its capacity if it was not for you?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, oh, yes,
They may look over you, they may not acknowledge you, you may not get paid, but without your screw, without your bus, without you getting those kids there, it will mean nothing to the overall scheme and operation of this county. So you need to know that I'm great and I'm awesome regardless of what other people think about me.
man.
Yes, yes?
Yes, yes.
So check this out. I went to a district last year, and I am one of the most sought out project managers in my organization. So when districts want me, they have invested into the energy of knowing that I'm getting one of the best. So usually the people that bring me in set me up for success. Last year that was not the case. Let me tell you what these jokers did. I went into the school district in my hometown. I'm not calling the school district in other public schools. I'm sorry, you didn't hear that. Nobody recorded. Y'all turn off all the recording.
You're joking, Melvin.
I love the district actually, but there was one individual who did not know me. And have you ever stepped into a place and people act like you didn't exist?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
Like you didn't matter. You go to a meeting and it's like you don't even have a place in that meeting. If you were invisible, they would look right through you. Even when I would give suggestions or my ideas, I was questioned, what qualifications, what education do you have? Do you know who you're talking to? And it was week after week, and it was probably one of the hardest times in my professional career. Let me tell you what happened. There was a big back to school summer. You had the superintendent, every administrator, every assistant principal, you had every district leader there, and you had the vice president of our company and other leaders. We were scheduled to present. I was one of the speakers. The night before, this lady called my boss and said, I don't want him in front of my people. I know, I'm pissed off all over again. Get mad. Oh no, check this out. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So that day, That wasn't the bad part. The bad part about it was my boss said, I want you to show up and act like nothing happened. So you had someone attack me, allow someone to mistreat me, disrespect me, and then I got to show up
And act like
nothing happened. So I had to tap into what I know works, which was some mindfulness. I went out and I worked out. I got out there and I was working out. I mean, I was on those bricks. I was cowboying and everything else, kicking and all that other stuff. It was my release. And what came out of that was this affirmation. The greatness of who you are is not dictated or determined by the opinions and beliefs of others. I walked into that building the next day in my best suit. I was looking good, clean. I went and spoke to everybody, even the person that didn't want me there. And I showed up. Today, I am one of the most respected people in the district, regardless of what that one person tried to do to me. You have that same power. You just have to understand it's going to get hard this year. There's going to be things that challenge you. There's going to be people that stretch you. There's going to be people that question who you are and the work that you do. It's okay. It grows us. But the greatness of who you are is not dictated or determined by the opinions and beliefs of others. You just walk in your way. Walk it out, baby. Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. All right. I'm about done. But this is the last thing, and this means more to me than anything. I know more than anyone the challenges that you face. And there's times, if we all will be honest with ourselves in the last few years, how many of you just want to quit? It's okay, it's all right. No judgment here. You said, I'm gonna raise two hands. Maybe you didn't quit, but you went home and you said, those mother suckers.
Sound about right?
There was days that you went home and you said, like everyone hates Christmas, my husband got 2 jobs, I don't need this. It's a challenge. It's hard. But in order to survive, and while you go through this year, I don't want you to be fooled. You're going to have some hard days. You're going to have some challenging days. There's going to be days where you want to cut somebody out. There's days you want to drop kick somebody in their chest.
Yes, yes. Thank God for change.
But I'm going to give you some tools to help you survive. You said help me? Yes. So when I was an educator, there were days in my educational career. I thought it was a war. I told everybody, I'm in a war. And some days they win, some days I win, but ultimately I will win the war. And there was days where I literally went home and I just had to disconnect. Mother Oprah says this. Mother Oprah says, when we serve out of our saucer, meaning our overflow. What's in the cup is for us. Oftentimes, we are serving out of our cup. Meaning, we're giving you everything that we have inside of us, and that's why we feel depleted and feel like we can't go on, because we're serving everyone out of what's supposed to be for us. So we have to attend to self-care. Look at yourself. Say, self.
Self.
I'm the number one. I'm the number one. I'm it. I'm the one.
I'm the one.
Because you have to attend to that. So one of the things I'm going to encourage you to do is leave the job at the job.
That's it. Yes, yes.
the job at the job. When you hit that time clock and you done dropped off that last child, you done parked your bus, you done walked out that building, leave it there.
That's it. Yes.
You can start back over again the next day.
That's it.
I don't care, even in my business seasons, I don't care how long I work, I can stay up all night working and it still won't get done. So at some point, I have to make the decision, I need to cut it off. And I need to attend to my personal well-being.
That's it.
Okay? So you have to go in with the intention from day one. When you walk out of here, you have to know, when I'm at the job, you get all of me. But once I leave this place, you get none of me.
The Colonel.
You
heard that.
You get nothing. The second thing is, people that are most fulfilled in their job tap into their purpose, not the job. Tap into the mission. What is your calling on the job that you do? That's why I told you about you're more than just. You are an intricate part, because you have to understand that I'm so great at what I do. And my purpose is to help the facilitation of kids get from one location to the next safe.
Yes.
So that they can get everything that they need. Because if I don't get them to school, check this out. Because you just thought you was transporting kids. If you don't get them to school, then they can't get the education. And if they can't get education, then they're going to be robbing you and busting out windows and doing all types of stuff. And I'm not talking about Jasmine Sullivan. No, she ain't mad at you. They don't have any other options, so they're going to start robbing and stealing and go end up in prison. So when you get the kids to school, then they can get an education, and when they get an education, then they can be productive citizens, and then they can come back and take care of you when you're old and gray. Tap into that purpose of why you are really here. And when the days get hard and the ways get long, then you tap into the purpose. You have purpose. Okay, the other thing is, find you what fills your spirit. What brings you joy? Like when you start dancing, some of you creeped on down here. If you like to dance as much as you possibly can. If playing with your grandkids is what you enjoy, then do that as much as possible. Find those things that you enjoy and do them as much as possible. You say fishing. I see you. Oh yeah, going out there, catching on fish. Get it in. If that's what brings you joy, then you need to do it as much as possible. And then here's some mindfulness things that you need to do. Every morning, I want you to get your routine. Most people, if you try to jump in that job, how many of you wake up in the morning and be like, I got to get to work, do what you think, get on the bus. That's an energy. So get your routine where you charge yourself. Get your playlist. Put on some Mary Mary so you have to like what I see. Hey, get the energy. So when you walk on that bus, you're carrying some energy. And even though those rascals may get on your last nerve, you got enough energy to carry you through, because you're coming in already. Oh, why am I here? It's another day at this old bus stop. So when your supervisor says something, what? Because you already woke up, as they say, on the wrong side of the bed. So you charge your energy with positivity. That way when they say something to you, okay, thank you very much. Let me go ahead and get this bus down this route down. And so get your morning routine that you can charge yourself. Also, too, one of the best things that works is, everyone do this right now, and I'm almost done. Everyone take a deep breath. And slowly release it. Sometimes we go so much that we don't even take time to breathe. So when you start feeling that anxiety and when you start feeling that pressure, just stop. Stop yourself, slow down and just say, you know what? I'm not even going to stress about that. So find you something that allows you to disconnect even in the moment. You may even have to say in between your reps, I'm going to the bathroom. Go in the bathroom and have some throne time. And that basically means, let me just reconnect, get my energy right, because they got on my last name. So that you can be ready for the next round. If anyone tells you this is an easy job, they're lying to you. And I just want to challenge you today, is increase what you believe about yourself. You have purpose, you have meaning. And even when it gets hard this year, you have tools and you have what it takes. You got what it takes to be successful. And we want to only hear good news about what is happening with the transportation department here in Leon County. Have you enjoyed yourself today? Have you got something that is in our time today? All right, real quickly, this is what I do. I need 3 people to volunteer. I need you to tell me one value that you got from our time together, and then one next step. All right, I need 3 bold people. Be proud, stand up, tell me one value you got from our time together, this motivational moment, and then one next step. All right, come on down. Like the Price is Right. Y'all give us a round of applause. Tell me your name.
My name is Linda Palmer. I'm with Pop's Compound.
So tell us what value you got from today.
The value I got from today is that we're more than just we're more than just, because we have a big responsibility. And as a bus driver, we're moms, we're dads, we're counselors, and most of all, we just have to love on them and just remember that their home life might not be all that good.
Yes, yes.
So we have to give them love on a daily basis. I know I have a lot of people tell me, Miss Palmer, you're too nice to them. You do too much for them. But the thing about it, those are my babies. And so, y'all may not love my babies like I love my babies. So I get mad sometimes when they take my route and I have to do somebody else's route. And then I got to hear other people talk about my babies and my babies.
Real quick, I got 2 more minutes. Come on, I need one more person. 2 more people. Come on down.
All right, Tessa.
And it's just like the president. They are coming to play. She comes stepping up. Come on, Miss Tasha. What did you get out of this session today?
Well, I got to put yourself first. Basically, what you said, like, get up in the morning, put yourself together, the energy and everything like that, 'cause that's a big, important thing. Because a lot of times, just like you just said, we're just not bus drivers, we're parents ourselves. So sometimes we may be going through stuff at home ourselves before we get to the job. So it's very important to take the time out and ask somebody how their day is, how they doing and stuff like that. Because you never know what a person is going through or experiencing at home themselves. So just keep going through the job.
All right.
That's it, friend. That's it, Tasha.
Listen, I have to go and be mindful of the time. So I want you to pull out your phones. Pull out your phones if you got it with you. If you don't, then I'm going to tell you how you can follow me. I'm on all social media as Coach Mark Morton. Coach Mark Morton. Mark with a K, Morton like Morton song. If you go to my website, CoachMarkMorton.com, go all the way down. I'm going down. Let me hear that say it. I'm going down. Oh, come on, you got it. All the way down to the bottom of the page, there's a place to sign up for my mailing list. If you sign up for my mailing list, I have a free gift for everyone that signs up. I will send you a copy of my affirmations, 2 affirmations, and then you'll get a recorded copy of I Rise Up, the affirmation that I started the session with. So if you go to my webpage, CoachMarkMorton.com, go all the way down. I'm going. If you all go all the way down, there's a place to sign up for email. I will send you my free gift. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Make some noise as we go to the